Steve Palmer here, back with another Lawyer Talk Q&A series where we are take legal questions. Now, look, let me say something here. This is the great disclaimer. I am not giving anybody legal advice. I mean, obviously, if you want legal advice, you can reach me at my law firm, Palmer Legal Defense, and you can give us a call, and we'll be happy to have a confidential and privileged conversation about your legal problem. Can't say I can solve it for you. I can't say I can always help you, but I almost always can at least ship you in or push you in the right direction, make a referral, or whatever. If this is not the place to get legal advice, but it is a fun place to discuss some of these legal topics that everybody's curious about, and that's what this question is all about. This came as a comment. Hey, Mr. Lawyer, I guess that is me. I'm Mr. Lawyer. Can I ask if it's legal and acceptable to ask for photo ID from an LEO, law enforcement officer, at the beginning of a traffic stop? I got to admit, it took me a second because what I thought you were asking is whether a cop could ask us or the citizen pulled over for an identification, but I think this is reversed. And this probably has to do, there's a YouTube guy out there, I think, that does this and asks cops all the time for their badge number identification and then says, good boy, or whatever it would be. Maybe that's what this is about. I don't know. But the question, we'll just take it sort of specifically. Can I ask if it's legal and acceptable to ask for a photo ID from a law enforcement officer? Well, yeah. I mean, I think it is both legal and acceptable to ask. The real question is, what if the police officer says no? What do you do then? And so we did a little bit of a dive, and there's some states that require police officers to provide information like their badge number and identification. A lot of states don't. So it sort of all depends. And this got us thinking about a bigger question, which is, how does one know that? And believe me, I have it's like the electrical code. I had a buddy who was an electrician. He used to say the electrical code is written in blood, meaning everything in there, while it seems a little bit absurd and ridiculous, is there for a reason because somebody has been hurt by it or there's been an incident as a result of it. And to use that analogy here, I have had lots of these scenarios in my almost 30 years of practice in criminal defense and other areas. And one of them is I've had several people who thought it was cool to go around and pull over citizens and act like they were police officers. Some did it quite deceptively and almost in a stalking behavior. Others, for whatever reason, there's people out there that do it. They put on fake uniforms and they do it. So how do you know? I guess you don't always know. And this is a scary thought. And if you think you're pulled over, I guess, by a law enforcement officer who is acting sort of weird or is not normal, then I think it's not only, you should ask, hey, what's your badge number? What's your identification? And I think if you ask in a right way, I think most police officers will tell you. If you ask if it's belligerent from the outset, in other words, if you're sort of standoffish from the outset, you're going to get standoffish behavior behavior in return from the police officers. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and then personalities come into play where certain police officers may be just power tripping, and that's just how they are, and they're not going to be real friendly with you. Others are going to be totally cool. Others are going to be sympathetic to the person who's nervous and not comfortable because of the setting of a police stop. And some would say they don't care. It's all business. So I think most of the time our instincts here are what should guide you. If you are in that spot, call 911. Do whatever you have to do. It's going to upset the police officer for sure if they are a legitimate cop, but do what you have to do to be safe. But understand, a lot of the police and civilian interaction is guided by how each side handles themselves on the side of the road. So when you're pulled over and you're immediately standoffish, then you're probably going to get some standoffish behavior from the police. Not always, but there's a lot of great cops who know how to disarm. I don't mean that literally, but sort of calm a situation down. But every now and then you get somebody having a bad day. And that's why I always tell people, look, the police have the badge. The police have the gun. The police have the flashing lights. The police have the cruiser. The police are in charge of that setting. I can't help you right there. I can help you later. So if you think that if you're going to get defiant with the police, you're going to give them a reason to put the handcuffs on you, give them the reason to jerk you out of the car, give them a reason to ruin your night or day. And the police can order you out of a car after a routine traffic stop. There's Supreme Court precedent on it. They can ask you questions. You don't have to answer. And it's a whole different rabbit hole that I'm going to go into maybe separately about as civilians, our duties to respond to police with identifying information. That's the old stop and frisk or stop, frisk, and stop, identify, and frisk type laws, and we'll get into that. But after a traffic stop, the police absolutely can ask you to identify yourself. Some states even mandate that you carry a license with you or some form of identification with you. So anyway, I hope this answered your question. It's probably a deeper dive than you wanted. If you have questions or anyone else has questions or follow-ups to this one, leave it in the comments. Check us out at lawyertalkpodcast.com. You can send a question via email there, and I will get to it. The questions are flooding in. Be patient with us, please. I'm doing my best to get the content out there as fast as I can. We appreciate you listening. This is Lawyer Talk off the air, on the record, off the air, answering your questions, at least until now. Hey, Steve Palmer here from Lawyer Talk. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Check us out, all our social media. Like, share, interact, ask your own questions. We're here for you.